A batch that passed your internal purity specs came from a toxicological study with a safety flag. The molecule looked clean, the HPLC test looked clean, but buried beneath the baseline noise was a truncated peptide fragment, one the method had never been designated to find. That scenario is not hypothetical. We have fielded that exact call before as well. Hello, I'm Raghuvar Singh Parmar, Director Scientific Affairs at Resolve Mass Laboratories, where we focus on the characterization of complex conjugated therapeutics, including some of the most structurally demanding peptide-oligonucleotide conjugates in early development today. Let me tell you about the impurities that don't announce themselves. Peptide-Oligonucleotide Conjugates (POCs) occupy a growing corner of the therapeutic pipeline. They combine the target specificity of oligonucleotides with the cellular access that peptide provides. That combination is powerful. It is also analytically difficult in ways that catch experienced development teams off guard, because the molecule your method sees and the molecule you actually made can be two different things entirely. Impurity profiling for this class matters for three reasons that are anything but abstract: patient safety, regulatory confidence, and batch consistency. These determine whether your IND filing moves forward cleanly or collects a chemistry query. Regulators do not extend goodwill on impurity profiles for novel conjugated molecules. They expect you to understand what you made, where the impurities originated, and why they are present at the levels they are. The source of an impurity determines how you find it and what risk it carries. Peptide synthesis produces truncated sequences, deletion products, and racemized residues that can be structurally similar to your target but pharmacologically distinct. Oligonucleotide synthesis contributes N-1 fragments, short sequences, and incomplete phosphorothioate substitutions. Then the conjugation chemistry introduces a third layer: side products from the linker reactions, incomplete coupling events, and competitive reactions at unprotected functional groups. Storage and environmental oxidation complete the picture. By the material Rich's IND enabling studies, the impurity profile can be considerably more complex than the synthesis team anticipated. The most commonly encountered impurity types fall into a recognizable pattern: truncated peptide fragments missing one or two residues, short or long oligonucleotide sequences, incomplete conjugation products, oxidation-related structural changes, and degradation fragments that emerge under the stress or extended storage. Each one carries a distinct mass fingerprint. Each requires a targeted, tailored detection strategy. Now let's talk about detection, confirmation, and separation. Detection is where many programs lose ground earliest. Reverse phase HPLC with UV detection is not sufficient for this molecule class. You need high resolution LC-MS, a system that can resolve co-eluting species with mass that when they are invisible by peak shape alone. We have characterized materials where the UV trace showed greater than 98% purity, and HRMS revealed 3 distinct molecular species beneath that single chromatographic peak. That is not an unusual finding, it is simply invisible to methods not designed to see it. Here is a concrete situation that illustrates the stakes. A biotech team arrived late in their analytical development cycle with a conjugate that had cleared all internal purity criteria. When we ran the material on our HRMS platform, we identified an incomplete conjugation product sitting at just above 1%, precisely at the threshold where most regulatory agencies require structural elucidation and safety qualification. The compound had not been detected by existing method because it is co-eluted with the main peak at UV wavelength. Finding it changed the development plan, not finding it would have changed the IND timeline. After detection, confirmation and separation define the depth of your characterization. HRMS delivers accurate mass. MS fragmentation allows you to sequence the impurity structure and determine whether it is peptide-derived, oligonucleotide-derived, or hybrid species from an aberrant conjugation event. Ion pair chromatography and size exclusion chromatography add orthogonal resolution, particularly for oligonucleotide-rich fractions and for detecting aggregates that reverse phase methods miss entirely. Stability stress studies under acidic, basic, oxidative, and thermal conditions expose degradation pathways before regulators request that explanation. Now let's talk about technologies and industry challenges. The analytical toolkit for this work is specific and must be applied in combination. LC-HRMS for identification, LC-MS for quantification, NMR for structural confirmation of novel species, SEC for aggregate detection, and ion pair HPLC for sequence level oligonucleotide separation. No single method delivers a complete picture. Orthogonal methods do. The challenges that persist in this space are also the ones most frequently underestimated. Trace impurities at sub 1% levels require instrument sensitivity and method optimization that generate platforms cannot provide. Structural lookalikes impurities with identical nominal mass but with different regiochemistry cannot be resolved without MS fragmentation or NMR. Reference standards for conjugate-specific impurities rarely exist commercially, which means your analytical partner must be capable of structure elucidation from first principles rather than relying on a spectral library match. Complex degradation pathways require interpretive expertise, not just instrument time. The practical conclusion is this: impurity profiling for peptide-oligonucleotide conjugates must be integrated into the analytical development plan from the beginning, not retrofitted after scale-up, and not assembled reactively when a regulatory query arrives. Early systematic characterization is what separates programs that move predictably through IND enabling studies from those that face avoidable delays. If your current analytical strategy was not designed specifically for this molecule class, that gap is worth addressing before it becomes a timeline problem. We are happy to review our situation, compare notes, and give you an honest assessment of what an appropriate method package should include. And please reach out to our team for further discussion of your program. Thank you so much for watching this session and see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye for now.